So at LinkedIn, I was heading the sales insights team from India, and we used to help LinkedIn make better sales with the help of the data. So if there are users, if there are companies who are using LinkedIn as a platform to hire, so we would be analyzing how their hiring has happened, and we would create some custom reports and analysis so that the companies find value from LinkedIn. So in total, I have about 9 years of experience working with Walmart, Airbnb, and LinkedIn. And currently, I'm working with this e-commerce company in India called as Meesho. So that has been my journey with great learning. I've been associated with them since I think 2021. So almost 4 to 5 years been associated with them and have been providing some live sessions and mentoring sessions as well. So glad to be here. Very excited to share my knowledge on whatever I've learned so far and help you have a clear roadmap in case you were to become, if you were to get into this world of data science and analytics, what do you need to do? All right, so let's get started. So how would the agenda flow look like? We will try to understand what is this entire data science domain, what is exactly data science. Then we'll try to figure out, what you should be doing, what are the key steps that you should be taking so that you have a profile which enables you to get a good job in this particular domain. So that is going to be the main theme that I'll cover. We'll have some question and answers. So in case you have any questions related to this domain, more than happy to answer them. And finally, we have a small program. We have a program here, and the team will be giving you the details about that program. All right, so let's get started. I'll probably use some scribble. I'll write something on the board. I'll give you some examples through data. So anytime you have any questions, feel free to ask. Anytime you want me to repeat a certain part, please do that. And anytime you have understood the concept, just give an affirmation because that will help me know if you are getting the concepts or not. Okay, so let's get started. The first thing that I'll touch base upon is you would have heard about a lot of terms, right? For example, you would have learned about data science, machine learning, AI. There are many, many terms which are out there in the world. So we'll try to understand the difference between each one of them and how they are connected and how do you learn each of the skill set, right? So that's going to be the main agenda for today. Okay, so let's go back and try to understand what's happening around us. If you look at this particular chart, in a minute, okay, if you look at this chart on the left-hand side, in a minute, there are about 452 hours of Netflix content being watched. If you look at YouTube, around 700K hours of YouTube is watched in just 1 minute. In 1 minute, Instagram shares have happened of around 65,000 photos are being uploaded on Instagram. In 1 minute, around 44 million views of the live stream has happened. In a minute, Google has around 5.7 million searches. Now, can I consider this to be like a huge data that is getting generated every minute as we speak? What do you think? Like in the world, as we speak along, can I say massive amount of data is getting generated? Correct? If you go to Instagram, for example, if you log in on Instagram, as soon as a human connects with a machine is your app, as soon as a human connects with the app, can I say it start absorbing and creating data? If you go to Instagram, does Instagram capture what time did you log in? Does it capture which post did you see? Does it capture which post you did not see? Does it capture which post did you like, which post you did not like, which story you shared, which story you did not share, which advertisement you saw, which advertisement you saw but did not click? So whatever you do on the app, can I consider that you are absolutely capturing all of that information? Isn't it? Every tiny bit of details that you're doing on the app, can I say that is being captured and that is the data that we have around us, right? And as and more devices comes online, as and more we spend more time on internet, can I say massive amount of data is getting generated? Correct. If you look at this, there are 8 billion people on the planet, out of which 5 billion people are already on internet. And if 5 billion people in the world is on internet, and if they are consuming any app, they are consuming any application, if they are using smartphones, they are using smart devices. For example, if they're using smartwatch, can I say every second huge amount of data is being created? Do you all agree with this line? Yeah, around us, How can we get it? So on your email, you will be getting the recording after the session is over. But for now, just focus on this part, right? So can I consider that the amount of data that is getting generated is exponentially high? Right. It is massive. It is totally massive. And what is happening? Okay, if I have the data, can I say we need the storage space to store that data? Isn't it? What's the point? If I'm creating the data, I'm generating the data, but I don't have the space to store it, is it of any use? Right? You're doing all the hard work to capture every tiny bit of details about your customer, but you don't have the space to store it. Is it going to be of any use? No, right? So can I say that in order to utilize this particular data, we need large storage. We need massive amount of data storage to happen. And in order to have massive amount of data storage to happen, can I say the storage cost should be very low? If the storage cost is very high, do you think the companies would capture all your information? Maybe not, because it will take them a lot of cost to maintain that particular data, isn't it? So can I say that as of the day, the cost of storing the data has also reduced drastically? Just remember your first phone, whatever phone you first purchased. Can I say the memory in that phone was about some MB, maybe 1 MB, 5 MB, 10 MB, 100 MB? And look at your phone right now. Can I say it is in upwards of 100 plus GB, 128 GB minimum? Yeah, guys, be active. Do you agree? Yes, no, just give me an affirmation so that I know that you're listening. So can I consider that the cost of storage of data has also reduced very drastically? Isn't it? Look at your phone. Can I consider that your current phone has more memory than your last laptop or last computer, whatever you were using? The memory in your phone right now is more than your personal laptop that you used to have, isn't it? So what is driving? Because of the invention in electronics, the cost of storage of data has reduced extensively, right? What used to cost, if you look at this diagram on the left and right hand side, it used to cost us $1 million to store 1 GB of data. And now it costs us around a cent. If you were to store 1 GB of data on, yeah, the cost of storage of data is reduced so that you can get 1 TB of storage at $20 or less. Isn't it? Very nice. If you're using some cloud system, what a cloud system? Cloud system is that instead of storing the data physically on a hard drive, we can store the data on a server, which we can access from anywhere, isn't it? So on those cloud platform, if you're using Google, if you have used Google Drive is offering 1 GB of data in 1 cent, isn't it? So can I consider over the years, from the past few decades, the cost of storage of data has reduced extensively? Correct? Yeah. So you're having a situation. One situation is that the amount of data that is getting generated is increasing exponentially, and the cost of storage is reducing drastically. So can I consider that the companies are collecting more and more of your information and trying to analyze that? Right? They are capturing every information that they could about you. And because they have a lot of space, they have a lot of less overheads in terms of storing the data. They're capturing all the data and storing it. Now, if you have all the data, let's say if the organization like Netflix has captured all the information about you, and if they're not analyzing it, is it of any use? They did all the hard work to capture it. They did all the hard work to save it. But is it of any use if we are not, if it is of no use to kind of analyze it? Just the storage, is it of any use? You collected and you stored, but you're not using it. Is it going to be helpful to anyone? What do you think? Possible, not useful, right? If it is not used. In order to use that particular data, can I consider that we need people who know how to work on that kind of a data? Do we need skilled professionals to work on that kind of information that we are capturing? Right now, there is huge amount of data that is getting, there's a huge amount of data that is getting collected, but partially that information is getting analyzed. So can I say there is a massive opportunity for us to work on this huge amount of data that is around us in order to give companies some competitive advantage, isn't it? Like if you look at this graph, 21 TB of data is stored, 85 TB data is stored, and the companies are only processing around 21 zettabytes of data. So there's a scope for around 60 zettabyte of data that we need to kind of analyze. Okay, so if there is a huge amount of data that is lying and needs to be analyzed, can I say we need people to do this kind of work? So can I say we need data professionals who can help companies utilize the information that they have stored in their cloud servers? Agree? Yeah, isn't it? So can I consider that this is a great opportunity for us? Because if you look at the future, what do you think? Will the amount of data that is getting created, will it continue to increase or will it stop? The amount of data that is getting created, every time a human interacts with a machine, this data that is getting created, can I consider it will continue to increase? More and more devices will come to internet, more and more devices will become smarter. Just imagine, few years back, car was a normal machine. It was a normal machine. Nowadays, can I consider car to be like a software which can actually run? Don't go back a lot of time. Just go back 5 years back, 7 years back. The cars were physical cars, nothing to do with the data. But if you see any car today, if you go and purchase any new car today, you'll find that it's a software that is running. It's a machine that is kind of running and collecting more data than probably your emission, right? So a lot of amount of data is getting created, generated, stored. And what we need is professional who can analyze this particular data. Okay, so is the background making sense? Like, is the future making sense to all of you? The cost will decrease, the amount of data will increase. So as the cost decreases, more data gets created, more gap will be created. And if this more gap is created, you need professionals who can analyze this data and try to make sense out of it and help companies make decisions. Okay, so we need to be sure that, we learn this skill set of data because that's where the future absolutely is. Okay. Now, how do we use this data and why do we use the data? Why can't we not use the data? Right. So let's try to understand the next concept that we have. Okay. All right. I'll just give you the overview about how do we utilize this data that we have. Right. There is a huge amount of data the companies have, and where it is stored, can I consider it as cloud, online? So if it is cloud, can it be accessed from anywhere in the world, anywhere, anytime, in any amount? Am I correct? Like if the data is stored on a cloud rather than a physical hard drive, can it be accessed from anywhere in the world at any time in any amount? If you're storing your photos on a Google Drive, can you access it from any part of the world if the internet is there? Can you access in any amount, anytime? Absolutely, yes. So can I say this gives the opportunity for us, even if the data is stored in X location, we can still work on Y location. So because of that, you will see a lot of the jobs which were primarily located in the location of that particular company now can be done remotely and can be done from any other country. Right? This is the main driver. So the data is stored on the cloud. Now what happens? Every company, every role that you are in, can I say the objective remains the same? The objective is there is a business problem, right? There is a business problem. And for this particular business problem, can I say the company needs to make a decision? We have a business problem. And for any business problem, can I say the company needs to make a decision? Whatever role you would be in, pricing, supply chain, marketing, operation, can I say you're dealing with this part? Some problems, make a decision, problem, make a decision. Now, in order to travel from this point A of problem to point B of decision, can we use data as a medium to make that decision? Can we rely on data to make that decisions? In today's world, can we rely on data to convert that business problem and make a decision using data? What do you think? We can rely on the data? Yes. And if we rely on the data, can I say we'll be more right than wrong? The probability or the rate of success is much higher if you rely on data, verified data, yes, right? So if you're relying on data for making decision, definitely the decisions will be better. So now can I consider that for every problem that the companies are facing, could it be anything? It could be related to operations, it could be related to finance, it could be related to marketing. Yeah. Can the companies rely on data to make the decisions? They can, right? And if they're relying on data to drive the decisions, can I again say that we need folks who can help bridge this gap for the companies? Because you, you may say that you're relying on data, but does it require special skills to actually utilize this data, right? So now can I consider this role of any role related to data will be present in every domain, every industry, in every part of the world? If an organization is working and if that organization has data, can I say that you need a person who can work on the data? Because if you were to make decision, that is everyday work, and in order for the companies to make decision, they need to rely on data. So can I consider the data role to be like a horizontal role, which is widespread across industries and the domain? So if you are a data scientist, can I say a data scientist is required in banking, finance, marketing, operations, healthcare, travel, in every industry, in every domain, right? If you are a civil engineer, your role is restricted to civil engineer, forensics, very important. But if you are a data analyst, or if you are a data scientist, can I say that you can spread your wings across industries and domain? Yes. And if you have more options, can I say it leads to more number of jobs? Correct? If a particular role is omnipresent, it is present in every walk of life, in every part of the decision making, can I say that we need more people with the data skills? Exactly. Okay, so there is a business problem and we need to make a decision and we are relying on data for making that particular decision. Okay, now what? Okay, let's try to understand this whole process. Okay, we'll try to understand this whole process of going from business problem to decisions. Okay. Even before you go to the data, even before we jump to the data, um, even before you go to the data, can I say the most important step one in the process is to understand the business problem? Isn't it? Understand the problem at hand. If you don't understand the problem, and even if you have the best data, would you be able to solve it? Not really, right? The step one in the process is to understand the problem. Let me give you an analogy. If you are not feeling well and you go to a doctor, does the doctor directly give you the medicines? He's like, oh, you came, take this medicines. Does it happen like that? Oh, you're a data scientist, so nice to meet you. What happens? If you're not feeling well, you go to the doctor. What is the first step that the doctor does? Does he give you the medicines? What does he do? Diagnosis, ask question, very important. For doing diagnosis, what does he do? Ask question. And once you ask the question, ask about the symptoms. Once you ask the question, does it help him get a better clarity about what the problem is? Right? When are you not well? What happened? What did you eat? Etc. Etc. That gives him the idea about the problem, right? In similar way, when we are trying to solve a problem, if we ask the right question, can I say we'll be able to understand the problem? In the business world also, does it hold true? Yeah. In the business world, also does it hold true? If you ask the right question, will you be able to better understand the problem? Correct. And in order to ask the right question, in order to ensure that we are asking the right question, can I say that we need to have a very good hold over the domain? Why is the doctor able to ask you very precise question? Because he has a very good domain knowledge, isn't it? He's a doctor. He has studied so many hours of his studies he has done. And that domain is giving him the opportunity to ask you the right relevant question. Otherwise, he could have asked like so many questions, right? But he's very precise. He will give you the information that he needs, right? So in a similar way, if you are working in marketing, can I say you need to know everything about marketing? If you are in operations, can I say you need to know everything about operations? If you are in finance, you need to know about finance. If you are in retail, you need to understand retail. If you are in banking, you need to understand banking. If you are in tech, you need to understand tech, right? So this is the first and the most important part. That is understanding. You learn as you go. No, but you need to know few things, right? Of course, we don't know 100%, but can I say you need to know 60% at least, 60, 70%? If I give you the data of the company in healthcare and you have zero clue about the healthcare, will you be able to make any sense of the data? No, right? So we need to know the rules and regulations and everything. So definitely we need to have a good hold over the domain. If we have a very good hold over the domain, that is where we can ask the right questions. And if we can ask the right questions, we will be able to understand the problem. So can I consider understanding the problem or problem solving to be the first and the most important skill set that we need to have? Yeah, be well versed with the area under the study. Absolutely correct, Jen. Absolutely correct, right? Cool. Now that you have understood the business domain, let's assume that you have got a good hold over the domain that you're working in. Now, can I say that you will convert the business problem into the data problem? Correct? You will convert the business problem into the data problem. What do I mean by that? Let's say the problem that a company is facing is that the sales of a store is going down. This is the problem. And we need to know how to fix it. We need to make certain decisions to fix it. Once you have understood about the domain, the industry, the outlook, etc., then can I say you will try to map this particular problem with the right data set? Probably you will look into customer data, right? You will look into product that they are buying. You will probably look into the order basket. What are they buying? What is there in their basket? Probably you will look into the returns data. Because if the sales are going down, can returns be a good measure of quality? If the quality is one of the factors, maybe the returns are higher, right? So you look into the returns data. Can I say you will also look into feedback data, ratings and feedback? So this is the step when can I say that you have understood the business problem and then you are mapping it to the data problem. You are converting it into the data that is going to be required for you to solve the problem. Yeah. Are you with me? Step 1, get a clear understanding of the problem. Step 2, convert that problem into relevant data points that you need in order to solve that particular problem. Is the first 2 steps clear? This is your step 2. This was your step 1. This is your step 2. Are you all with me till here? Step 1 and step 2. Understood? For sure? Okay. I hope so. If you have questions, feel free to ask. All right. Now comes the next part. Okay, let's take an example. Let's say you are running a small ice cream store. Okay, you're running a small ice cream store. And we are very tech savvy, you are very data savvy. So what you do is you capture the information like this: temperature and sales. Temperature is 10, the sales is 100. The temperature becomes 20 degree, the sales becomes 200. It becomes 30, it becomes 300. It becomes 40, it becomes 400. Now, can you tell me if this pattern holds true? Assuming that this pattern holds true, what will be the sales that you will get at 45 degrees Celsius? If this pattern of the data holds true, what will be the value at 45? 10, 100, 20, 200, 30, 300, 40, 400. Any guesses what will be the sales at 45? It will be 450. Now, if beforehand, one second, Okay. It will be 450. Okay. Now, if you know this beforehand, if you know this beforehand, what will happen? Will we be able to make right decision with respect to inventory? Yeah. Because you know 450 units of ice cream will be sold. Will you go to the market and purchase 450 units? So will it help you plan your inventory better? Right? Will it help you plan your um what do you say, cash flows better? Yeah. If you know that will it help you plan your cash flows better? Yeah. Will it help you plan your human resource better? Yeah. Because for 100 units of ice cream, if you need one person, for 450 units, you need probably 4.5 people. Okay. So if I look at this, what did you do? Did you convert this data into the form of an equation? Isn't it? This data you converted into the form of equation, which is y is equal to 10x. Am I correct? The equation that we have used in here is y is equal to 10x. Yeah. Plan your production better. Absolutely correct. Yeah. So if you know the value is equal to 10, if the value of x is 45, that's how you came up with the answer of 450. 10 into 45. Correct? So can I say the step 3 in the process? Step 1, understand the problem. Step 2, convert a business problem into data problem. Step 3, can I consider is to convert the data into the equation? Or can I also call this as modeling? Yeah, this is also called as models. So we need to know, in this case, can I say knowing statistics and maths or learning bit of statistics, application of statistics and maths become crucially important? You don't need to know the formula. You don't need to know how it works. You just need to know where to apply which formula. So can I say the third most important skill set that we need to learn is around the statistics, application of statistics? Yes, agree on this. Because the most crucial part here is this equation, right? Based on the complex data, the equation will be complex. Based on the easy data, the equation will be simple. So we need to make sure that we know, we don't need to know the formulas. We don't need to know, how it is calculated. We need to know, okay, in this case, it's a linear trend, and hence I have to use a linear equation. So that is the next step. That is the application of statistics is what we need to learn. And finally, once you have converted the business problem into the data problem, and then you have that equation, based on the output of this equation, will it help you make decisions? Based on the prediction that you're making, based on the output of that particular model, is the company now much better shape to make the decisions? Correct? In order to do all of this, in order to understand the data, in order to analyze the data, in order to create that data into the form of an equation, is it possible to do it on a piece of pen and a paper? Can we just do it on our notebooks? If you have a large amount of data, is it possible to do it on our notebooks? No, right? So can I say that we need to take the help of the technology here? Right? We need to learn some tech. And in tech, the best language, the best coding language, that is the language of data science, as they call it as, it's your Python. Okay, we need to make sure that we learn this coding language called as Python. Python is one standard language that is used across industries, across companies, across verticals in order to do all of these steps, which is to get the data, transform the data, analyze the data, and create that data into the form of an equation. Everything can be done on Python. Okay. So this whole process where we convert the business problem into the data problem, convert that data problem into an equation with the help of technology in order to drive decision is your data science. This is nothing but your data science. Make sense? Understood this whole process, like what exactly is data science and what are the skills required in data science? Problem understanding, very important to have a domain knowledge. Converting the business problem into data problem, thinking about which data points can help us solve that particular problem. Utilizing your statistical skills, learning statistical skills to know the application, and definitely technology to execute all of this are the key skill set that is required in this particular domain. Okay. Any questions so far, anyone? All good? The DS process again is this one. Understand the business problem, convert the business problem into data problem, convert the data into the form of an equation with the help of technologies to drive the decision. It is your data science. MySQL is used to extract the data. This part, step 2 is MySQL, wherein we try to get the data that we require. Step 3 would be Python. Okay, data extraction is what you need MySQL. Okay. Can I proceed to the next part? Are we good so far? Any questions, anyone? Business problem to data. That is, like I told you this example, right? Like if the sales of the stores are going down, what data points would you be looking into? That is business problem to data. Yeah, you can succeed. You can easily learn, right? Does it take a lot of effort to learn retail? For example, if you're using an e-commerce company, would you be able to understand how e-commerce works? If you're using Uber, can you easily understand how Uber works? If you know how Airbnb works, if you just spend some time, will you be able to learn about it? Right? With some articles online, with some articles here and there. Yeah, you can definitely learn. Okay, glad. Let's go to the next part. This is all about data science. Now what happens? Can I consider this particular data points that we used as a training data? Can I call this as training data? Right? The data that I used for creating this equation y is equal to 10x. Isn't it? I use this particular data in order to create this equation y is equal to 10x. So I'll call this as a training data. Now what happens? The new information comes in. And here, somewhat here, a new store gets opened. In the vicinity of your ice cream store, a new store gets opened. And now what happens? You will find 35, the sale to be 320. At 25, the sales to be 220. At 45, the sales is not 450, it is 420. Now, do you think with the new information that he's seeing, is y is equal to 10x the best equation? There's a new data that is coming because of the new store that got opened up. Do you think y is equal to 10x is the best equation to make the prediction? Is this still the best equation? No. Others, what do you think? Do you think y is equal to 10x is the best equation to know what will be the sales, say at 37 degrees Celsius? No. So can I say that this equation needs to automatically update to the best point that fits all of the data points, including the new one? Can I say that this equation now needs to automatically get updated to an equation which best fits all of these points? Right? Say that equation is y is equal to 9.5x plus 10. Just random, I'm making that equation. So assume for all of this data point, this is the best equation. So now if I want to know what will be the sales at 37, I'll do 9.5 into 37 plus 10, and that will give me the right answer. Right? So if I want my equation to not remain static, but update with the information that he is getting, can I say that this is nothing but, if this happens automatically without any human intervention, Can I call this as machine learning? Isn't it? Can we consider this as machine learning? The machine is learning from the new information, and on that information, he's creating the equation. So can we consider this as machine learning now? Bit confused. Why are you a bit confused? If this data, if this equation is not y is equal to 10x, it gets updated with the new information that he is getting. And based on that, he's making the prediction. So can I consider that the machine is learning on its own? Isn't it? And that is what is giving you the better prediction, much more accurate prediction. And this process is called as machine learning. So the difference between data science and machine learning is, in machine learning, can I say that we use a dynamic equation, not a static equation, an equation which gets changed based on the new information it sees? Do you agree? For example, on YouTube, if you're watching videos related to music, all your life you were only watching videos related to music. Suddenly you start watching movies on YouTube. Does your feed automatically gets updated? Isn't it? You were only watching music related videos. Now you're watching sports, you're watching news. Does your feed automatically starts to get updated and sees both of them? Music videos plus the news? Yeah. So can I consider that the machine is learning from the patterns of the user? He's not static. He's not based on the old data set. If he was only based on the old data set, he would have only given you recommendation of the music channels. But now because you're feeding him with the new information, he's trying to see that information, update that information. And based on that, he's giving you the recommendation. That is nothing but our machine learning. Okay. Is the two terms clear? Data science and machine learning? Very good. Okay, so this is what we need to focus on. This is probably what we need to learn. And are we clear on the skill set? No, I just made a guess. I just said that it's a guess that I'm making. I didn't do anything here. Okay. So are we clear on what are the key skill set that we need to learn? We need to learn about problem solving. We need to learn about, how do we understand which data we require for solving our problem. So we need to think in the data terms. We need to know the application of statistics. And finally, we need to know the technology of Python so that we can put it all together and we can put it all together and make a decision. Okay, there are amazing opportunities out there. There are different roles based on the complexity. If you are only looking to build models and not make a dynamic model, there's the role of data scientist, which I've already explained what you need to do. Very heavy on business, statistics, data visualization, programming. If you were to learn machine learning, you need to give the data, which is a fluid data, not a static data. So for that, you need to know TensorFlow. The TensorFlow enables you to have the data which gets updated very often. And based on that, your model gets changed. So you need to learn a little bit about TensorFlow. If you want to go one level up where you want the decision to be automated, right? You want the machine to automatically place the order for the inventory. You want the machine to automatically know how much cash to withdraw. If you want the machine to do the decision on its own, then it will be called as, any guesses? If the machine is making a decision on your behalf, then it's a work of data science, machine learning, AI. What do you think it is? If he knows that the unit sold here will be 30 to 60 and he places this order, automatically he places the order as well. That's the decision that he has made. So this is your AI. Okay. So you can obviously become like an AI engineer as well. Nowadays, I'm sure, are you seeing more and more products having AI? If you open WhatsApp, it has a AI. If you open Gmail, it has a AI. If you open Meta, it has a AI. If you open Instagram, it has a AI. If you open Twitter, it has got pretty amazing tool that they have created. So can I say nowadays these tools are being getting created on the day-to-day basis that we use? Your Microsoft Excel has a AI, by the way, if you know, Copilot it is called as. So yeah, the slide deck will be shared with all of you. So this is another role that is getting created. Um, do you see the concerns of ethics in AI? Anyone here has seen that there are some ethical challenges to AI because it is based on the past data and it has been trained. Can there be biases in the way it is being trained? Yeah, there are many examples wherein, for example, very simple example is most of the people are right-handed, right? Like if you observe, while writing, most of the people are right-handed. So now if you ask the person to draw the image of a person writing a poem, he will usually find that it will be right-handed. So because your data is so driven by the past data, there are ethical challenges. So you need to ensure that the ethics is maintained. So this is another very important role that is coming in. We are now able to, if you see the data can be divided into two parts. One is like a structured data, tabular data, the one that we were seeing here. This is the tabular data. And the other form of data is your text data. Now, do you think text or has a lot of hidden information? The text data that we have, for example, in this class, if I want to know whether you were able to understand, can I use your chat and find out, okay, was the student able to understand? So can we use a lot of text data for finding out some insights? If you go to Amazon, if you're purchasing anything from Amazon, does it tell you the sentiment of the people who have previously purchased? Is it a good product, bad product? Correct? If you yeah, so there are like many examples in which the text data can be used. And in order to process the text data, there is the subpart of ML that is called as NLP. So you need to learn this skill set of NLP. It's a subpart of ML, which is revolving around the text data. Do you think images also have a lot of information? Yeah. If you go to the superstore, if you go to any retail store, I want to know how you're feeling. So can we utilize the live video that we are getting, and can we try to understand whether you are happy or sad or how you're feeling? Have you seen it? Like if you go to any store, they'll capture your camera and somebody would be looking in that data and he'll tell you, okay, he's happy, he's sad, he's concerned, etc. So can that help companies make quick decisions around giving a better customer experience to that person? Yeah. And in order to analyze the image data, we need to be like, going deeper into the concept of computer vision. So these are some of the key new things that are coming up in the market, but it all starts with the first part, which I've explained, which is your business problem to data problem to equation to decision. If you get this correct, you can just reapply this to different form of data. Okay. Now what you can do is for your resume preparation, for your learning purpose, build a portfolio. What is a portfolio? So for example, if I were to hire an interior designer and he does not have a lot of experience, so what do you think I should be asking him for? Let's say you want to do some renovation in your home and you want to hire an interior designer. So what do you, and he does not have a lot of experience. So what will you ask for? Anyone? Will you ask for his portfolio? Basic knowledge. No, you'll ask for his portfolio, right? Which is, yeah, reference work. Exactly. So in similar way, if I want to hire a data scientist, if we have some projects done, if we create a portfolio of our projects, will it help us learn better and explain the projects better in case we are applying for the roles? Yeah. So can I say practical learning, guided learning is much more critical? So overall, it's a domain that is super in demand. It's going to grow. It's not going to be less. More and more companies are relying on data scientists, ML engineers for you to make the decisions. And because of that, there's a huge amount of opportunity that is out there in front of us. And in order to grab that, we need to be very good with, the application of statistics, coding languages, and knowing how to solve the problem. If you get these skills, you can leverage this massive opportunity that is there in front of us. Okay, so I hope you have a clear roadmap on why you need to get into data field and what you need to do in this data field and what are the key skill set required to succeed in here. Okay, sounds good? Yes. Any questions? Anyone has? All right. No one. So probably I'll invite Shannon now. Shannon, if you, yeah, without any prior experience, like I said, if you focus more on building the project, that will be the best one. You just need to create more and more projects. How far can you go without coding or Python? I would say it is gonna restrict you, so why not learn it? It's not that difficult. And with the AI, nowadays, it's not even that difficult. It has become so simple. Like, for example, you just need to write prompts and it gives you the output. Like, you don't even have to be like a super coder. Just 1 second, I'll show you an example. If you use some AI assistants that are coming in and you're like, print hello, I'm just giving a example. It will the statement hello. See here, I've just written the prompt and he has given me the code. Isn't this cool? Like, you don't really need to remember syntax or anything like that. This is Python, by the way. So all you need to do is just give him the prompt. Say find if the number is even or odd. I'm just giving you like how easy it has become because of AI. Even or odd from the list. Okay. If he is able to understand it, he'll be able to give you the code. So no need to worry about Python. Just know what you want to achieve from Python. That's all is required. Okay, great. So this is what, for that, all of that question, how long, how you can become, how can you build from the interest in here? We have a very beautiful course design, and I'm sure Shannon will tell you all about it, like how you can learn all of this, what we have discussed just now. Okay, over to you. If you can hear me, Shannon.
Thank you so much, Saurabh. Am I audible?
Yes, absolutely awesome.
Thank you so much. Right. Hello, everyone. This is Shannon. I am the Senior Program Advisor from Great Learning. And I have been working with Great Learning for close to 3 years now for the postgraduate programs in data science, business analytics, artificial intelligence, and machine learning. Thank you so much, Saurabh, for the insights you've given us, first of all, along with the emerging career opportunities and some of the career growth strategies. And yes, until the usage of, until unless there's usage of internet in the world, there would be opportunities for data scientists, data analysts, and AI experts across the globe. You must be wondering, team, what this program is all about and from where this would start. This is a program for working professionals for 7 months down the lane. You can come without any programming language exposure or computer knowledge. This program is designed in such a way that you start off right from the basics of Python, NumPy, Pandas, business statistics, ensemble techniques, etc. The time commitment that's required is at least 2 hours during the weekend. So you can select either a Saturday or a Sunday for the live interactive sessions. And during the weekdays, you're expected to go through the recorded content at least for an hour or so. Now, also the agenda of this program is that you have more of practical hands-on exposure. So instead of just the theoretical knowledge, you have 7+ projects, which will help you to get more of practical hands-on exposure to become more industry ready, more market ready, more job ready, etc. All in all, you get more than 48 hours of personalized membership sessions with the industry experts. Now, how this program looks like, or from where you would be starting off, is once you complete your registration, you would have something called as Module 0, which is pre-work. That helps you to start off with the foundations of the program. Most of them, around 70 to 75% of our learners come with zero programming language or computer language knowledge. It might become too overwhelming for them to start off with Python foundations. Hence, you start off with pre-work that gives you a little breathing space to understand what this program is all about, how the learning portal looks like, and the study material, etc. Then you have the live interactive sessions to start off with Python foundations. You jump into business statistics and module 2, supervised learning's classifications, ensemble techniques, and model tuning. Then comes your unsupervised learning with 6 modules to actually understand how you can work with marketing, retail, finance, risk, banking, insurance, web and social media. Also, you have something called as demystifying ChatGPT with its applications, which is generative artificial intelligence and ChatGPT and its applications. You also have time series forecasting with data visualization modules, which will help you to give future predictions to the organizations that you work with. What this program entails, all in all, is your problem solving and interpretation skill set with the industry perspective that you have, collaborated with data science and analytical methods and techniques with algorithms, which will help you to give future predictions to the organizations that you work with. I hope I was clear so far. Do you have any doubts or questions? Maybe you can put it over a chat. I'll answer for you. This program is specially designed for working professionals, and why this program is the right fit for you. Like I did mention, unless there's usage of internet across the globe, there would be a demand for data analysts, data scientists, AI experts. Backed up with a certificate from one of the top 3 universities in the US for business analytics, which is the University of Texas, Austin, it would be a star onto your portfolio. How you can proceed forward with this program is we can drop the link to the application form for you. You can fill in the application form details. It's just a 5 to 7 minute process where you give your personal details, your professional details for us to understand your profile better. And you can attach your resume or your LinkedIn profile. There would be a panel that takes or goes through your profile, and then there would be an interview scheduled or a telephonic round that will be scheduled with you. Should everything go good, we would be helping you with an offer letter, and you can go on and register for the program. Now, we're in the last leg of the admissions right now. Hence, the application deadline is May 15, 2025. You might as well complete the application process by latest this evening or tomorrow, and we'll try to reach out to you. The University of Texas, Austin is the academic partner with Great Learning, and Great Learning is a delivery partner to the University of Texas, Austin, which means the curriculum and the content is designed by the University of Texas, Austin. The recorded video lectures are by the faculty of the Texas, Austin. The case studies, the projects are all curated by them, and the certificate is given to you by the University of Texas, Austin. Great Learning is the delivery partner. You would get the LMS, which is called as Olympus, from Great Learning. There would be a dedicated program manager for you who would be connecting with you and taking you through academic, non-academic queries all along. That's from Great Learning. The academic support is from Great Learning as well. So rest assured, we would be with you until you complete your journey with the university for 7 months down the lane in the postgraduate program in data science and business analytics. Do you have any doubts or questions for me? I'll be happy to answer. Good to see that you registered earlier, Olatunde. Well, you can connect with us and we will try and take you through. Right. You're asking about the funding, the discount, the scholarship available for the program. Yes, the program comes with a fee structure, which is pretty much a little varied in different parts of the world. You might as well try and register. We'll try to connect with you. And if there is an opportunity for us to, get you on board with certain benefits, etc., we'll try to do that for sure. No, Mr. Olatunde, you need not re-register again. I will try to reach out to one of my colleagues and maybe they can try and reach out to you for any further assistance that you might require. Any other major doubts or questions for me, please? Well, if you do not have any other doubts or questions, I would take your leave. I'm looking forward to catching up with you super soon. Unfortunately, no, Annabelle, this is not a free program. It does come with a fee structure, of course. Thank you so much for your time, Saurabh. And thank you, team.
Yeah.
Saurabh, am I audible?
Yeah. Should we close? All right.
Yes, I think the